What's up guys, Airsoft here. I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite guns. Well, this is Knight's Armament. Yeah, Knight's Armament, right? Yeah, Knight's Armament M16 M203 BN. So it's really cool. All metal except that's plastic and strong plastic by the way. That and that. Anything else is metal, right? Of course, you have a green launcher, and I'm running it with a Box Mag, LMG Box Mag, like that when I can. Sometimes when I play a milsim event, of course, I put normal mags, normal standing mags, 30 rounds in it. And I have small mags, right? That are kind of, yeah, tiny mag. I think they are from Arcturus. The mag variable, something like that. Anyway. Oh yeah. So first of all, the battery space is huge because you have an M16 stock, right? So again, everything is metal. You have a grenade launcher. You have the grenade launcher type of thing, and yeah. So that gun is really long, right? It's over meters long. So yeah, that's pretty long, right? It's not really made for CQB or whatever. So you know, I'm not gonna talk too much about the gun, but it comes with a 510mm inner barrel, right? So you know, it's a long barrel, and everything is upgraded anyway. And I did a custom paint job on it. I'm gonna show you a little bit. Oops. Right. So I don't know if you can see it really well, but. So I'm gonna do a deep dive on that guy, and first thing I can say is when I get that guy out, first of all, that's a workout, right? You know, I mean, I'm pretty strong and I'm in shape, so you know that's good. But when you have that gun, you know, like that, you know, for like 8 hours, you can feel it, right? Compared to some little plastic airsoft gun. So if you're a small kid, you know, like skinny and all that stuff, that's maybe not the gun for you. And another thing is everybody loves that gun, right? In milsim games, but it's like, yeah, that's cool, and they want to try it and all that stuff. I got a lot of comments about it, and if I go outside, play some skirmish or whatever, put a drum mag on it, pull it in full auto, and you know, let's go. That's really fun. For indoor CQB and all that stuff, that's really not the gun designed for it. That's way too long and heavy, you know, and in the corner and all that stuff. That's, you know, I try it and that's not really good. And yeah, you know, you have an M203, so you know you can, you know, for example, grab your master mic or 40 mic or grenade shells, right? Shower shells, and put that in there, and you know, that's really cool. I remember one time I was playing game out on the corner and there was like 5 guys, you know, like down in the bushes and shooting at other guys, right? Because I kind of flanked them. So I go out behind them and I just you know, turned the corner and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna shoot that close, you know, because that gun shoots, you know, like 425, 430 feet per second. So yeah, it hurts pretty bad, you know. So I just, you know, get those 5 guys out. So yeah, that's really fun. That's one of my most favorite gun, you know. And again, you know, it's people love it, you know. People want to try it. People, you know, so it's a little bit a flashy gun. I don't necessarily want that many attention, and people, you know, always. But you know, it's part of it. And yeah, so you know, I know you find that annoying when I talk. So I'm gonna go to the disassemble internals and all that stuff portion of it, and then shooting test. Okay, so here are the internals of that guy. So first of all, this is a low next gearbox, right? Sorry. This is a Lunex V2 gearbox. I did go with that guy because, you know, it's just super solid, right? And you know, did the radius thing and, you know, all those little jobs. But that's pretty much it. So I have a M115 in there with a max spring guide. I have ZCI stainless steel light tie 8 cylinder. This is an ENC polymer cylinder head. This is a max adjustable nozzle. Those are ZCI 16:1 gears. This is the tappet plate that comes with it. This is the 38 MOSFET, quality MOSFET. I think it's version 1.42, whatever, with a T238 adjustable trigger. Cylinder, it's a ZCI high speed cylinder, 14 metal teeth, and this is retro arm CNC machine, lightweight polymer piston head, high speed, you know, whatever. So that's my first gearbox I run. I have another one in there. So those are 18:1. Basically the last time setup, except the head is a SHS. It's a double O-ring aluminum piston head, and the cylinder head is Crytek. So 18:1, run a X-Cortec MOSFET in there, and you know, all that stuff. With this is a Specna arms, you know, Edge series, I think, spring guide with the M120. Because basically that guy, oh yeah. So, and in there I have Raven Evolution hop up with maple leaf 70-degree bucking, maple leaf omega knob tensioner, and the barrel is a ZCI 6.02 stainless steel, 510mm with stabilizing O-ring. So you know that thing doesn't move from there, as you can see, right? It's super tight in there, right? Because there's an O-ring at the end of the barrel, and just hold it super tight, super snug in there. So yeah, it is what it is. So a lot of consistency with that guy, you know. Yeah. So because I have a perfect air seal, right, and all that good stuff, I run to gearbox because some field, you know, it's, you know, like they are not really open-minded, having a gun that shoots a little bit over 400 feet per second, and that guy with that long barrel and all that stuff shoots, you know, like 425 all day long, right? So that's a problem with the M16, right? But in outdoor field, you know, there's no problem, and they say, yeah, you know, you have 60 feet, under 60 feet, you know, use your handgun or your green launcher or whatever. And that's another one thing that I really like, you know, you have that big gun, and you know, you cannot really just put a small sling, you know, on the back or anything, you know. That's a complete M16 stock, and the gun is long, you know. Like if you put just a sling in there and you you drop it, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna go all the way to the ground. You know, that gun is over 1 meter long and heavy as fuck. So and I run it with a G&G 1.5K round drum mag, box mag, yeah. So you know, it's really crazy when I go in the field. You know, basically, except milsim game, right? Milsim game, I run a normal mags, and I have some mags that are, I think it's D-Day from Acturus. Anyway, you can have a 30 or 70 round, you know, something like that. So for those really serious milsim, that real ammo, I run those with 30 round mags. Otherwise, you know, I use my standard ZCI mags, are 140 round plastic one. Like those guys, they are like $8 and they works great in any gun, so that's cool. You know, for the motor, this is the ZCI Gen 2 motor with you know, a little heat dissipation, but as you can see, the pistol grip base plate, you have a little vent on it, so you know, if you run it as an LMG, you know, you don't have too much issue with that. And that's a high torque motor, right? So I think it's 22 PA, so that's pretty good. So yeah, that's basically my setup. Again, you know, like I run two gearbox for two different purposes. You know, if I want to run LMG, you know, that's my LMG gearbox. You know, low power LMG, have fun. And if I go outside, you know, I run the other gearbox with the M120. You know, that's a little bit less annoying than just reopen that gearbox and try to fight with that fucking spring, because that spring is super short, right? It's an M115, so it gives me around 400 feet per second, right? So up adjust, you know, it drop at 385, you know, something like that. But the other spring, you know, it's 425, 430, and with up adjust, I'm at around 410 FPS. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, so those are the internals. Again, you know, nothing crazy, but that gun works so well, man. I know, you know, it's a long barrel and it's a version 2 gearbox, but honestly, man, the range on it, it's, you know, like I can run it as a DMR if I want to. I just put the other gearbox, you know, and I put the M125 on. You know, that's the thing. It's that gun produces so much power. It's bad when you have heavier BBs, you know, it kind of, because you have less air volume, so you know, it kind of get okay with the FPS. So that's it. I'm using 0.30 grams BBs most of the time with that guy, so you know, it's I'm under 1.5 joules, and if I run it with the other gearbox, I can, you know, that's because it depends, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it about that gun. But that's one of my favorite gun, man. It's so much fun, man. You know, like, you can blast at full auto. If someone gets closer, you know, and you just pop the green launcher on it, and yeah, that's cool, man. So anyway, let me know what you think of the build, right? Those are not the craziest internals, right? But again, you know, it's the gun itself is a lot of money, man. This is a nice armament, M16, M203 VN, and they are one of a kind, right? That's been years they don't make that, and those guys anymore, you know, and they didn't make that much. So you know, that's pretty much like, how I can say that, a really rare gun. You know, you have some other company that made, you know, similar guns, but those are, you know, like the real deal, right? So anyway, oh, gun is pretty much reassembled. So you know, that's a setup with to the 8, and you know, I keep the long press trigger. No feather trigger in there, and it's really fucking snappy. With that hand, I'm not use that much, but yeah, let's go with that. That's way better. So yeah, and for the for the that's pretty fun. Turn that guy in. That's good. No. Crony test. Let's try. Have a couple of read right there, right? And yeah, 430 right there. Oh, just drop. I'll go for it though. So yeah, you know, as you can see, it shoots a little bit hot. 1.74 joule. You're a monster, bro. But I don't think the pop is adjust. So pop adjust, I would go down around 420, I would say. But yeah, that's it for that gun. So let me know in the comment what you think. And especially with that nice camo, man. I mean, it was a quick job, you know, like I didn't waste that much time on it, but you know, still pretty cool.